Okay. Great football game. It's very disappointing to come up on the wrong side of that game. What a great night, great atmosphere, great football game. Very disappointed that myself and our coaches couldn't find a few more plays to pull off the victory. Very proud of our team for their commitment to getting better. The past couple weeks, during my sessions with you guys, I've talked about the team preparing and having a focus about them and work ethic about them and growing and getting better. I thought that showed up tonight. That doesn't mean that we're happy with that. I'm happy with growth. Very disappointed with the outcome, but I'm proud of our football team for their approach and the way they're working and the commitment that we gave for the past couple weeks. And as a staff, we got to look at everything and find a way to make those plays. It's a game of inches. This is a game that was separated by several plays, not always the obvious ones that jump out at you, but there's some plays in there that we had and could have made that could have changed the outcome. So, we accept that. We know I'm not playing the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. It just it's the truth. It's two very good football teams going at it out there and played very hard. We got to go back to work and find a way to make some critical plays in critical moments.
Questions?
Mark, can you just walk us through your thought process on the 2 4th down?
The going for it early, I don't. Yeah, I probably pressed early. You know what I mean? With the first one, we had 2 4th and 1s. 4th and a yard or a half yard right at this tongue, right at the start of the game there. And punted it away. They scored quickly. Probably got impatient and went for it with the second one. That's on me. That was it. And then the other ones, John, you saw the other one. We kicked the same distance. It's right on his limit. I wouldn't guarantee that if I knew he was going to make it, I'd kick it. But, we had the same distance, and it wasn't real close. Those aren't exactly gimmies, when they're over 50. And with them, you need to score points. So I don't regret the ones down in the high red. I do regret, probably the early one, pressing it a little bit.
Mark, obviously not the result you want, but to see the passing game finally take off, how encouraging is that going into the last?
It's very encouraging because they've worked really hard, and you're starting to see some growth, and that I'm happy with. And we've just got to continue to really work really hard. This is a difficult league, in case you didn't know, and and our guys understand that, and they just got to continue to have that same approach, and we will get better.
We talked Thursday about how tough it is to stop their running game. It just didn't seem like you could get a handle on that all night.
No, it was. It was frustrating. The tempo at which they go gets some of the guys their eyes a little dirty, and credit them. They have a very good scheme. The tempo adds to the vision of your players with the fits, and if you're not very precise, they're going to make you pay. And it's just like early with the one that split us. We were in a pressure, and our guy thought he came as tight as he needed to, but things move fast and different, and we didn't have a good handle on it, John, all night. I think
Mark, in the past you've equated tackling to being out of position. It seemed like you overran guys and missed tackles today. How would you account for that?
Well, I think that's probably fair to say, and you've heard us talk about it all week. Why? This team puts you in space that not everybody does. So therefore, you're going to see some of that. And we talked all week about having to win some one-on-ones, and we won some and we lost some, and you're in much more space with a team like this, and their backs are elite, and so I think that's some of it. No excuse, it's just credit them, and they're good players, and they put you in some precarious positions to make plays. They stress you.
Mark, offensively, it felt like every big play was followed quick to the line of scrimmage. Do you think that let Devin get a little bit into a rhythm?
We're trying, we're trying to get a little faster and just get to the line and create some tempo ourselves and get them comfortable. So hopefully it helped a little.
Mark, in the last few weeks, it seemed like after a penalty or two would pile up, it would just kind of keep tumbling there. You guys got 2 false starts on that second drive. You didn't really see you for a few drives. How did you feel like they responded to that one? That been a problem?
Well, we overcame that one, if I'm not mistaken, went down, scored a touchdown, or at least 3, but it was a touchdown. Yeah, I think we overcame that one, went down and scored, but you don't want to do that all day, and I don't think we did. Our stat sheet, we have a problem with our, it's a lot better, it's an improvement. So, we talked about that, one of our points of emphasis, obviously, was playing much smarter, and foolish penalties, and we didn't have any of those, I don't think.
Anyone else?
Mark, did you get an explanation on what they saw on the review right before the half?
No.
Any other questions?
Did you feel like your team, the kind of points of emphasis that you put over the last 2 weeks, that they picked up on a lot of that?
I definitely do. I do. I think, for us, we talked a lot about, being very dedicated to focusing, you know what I mean, and being very focused and execute and work on the details. And I know we talk about those things all the time and coach speak, and but it's true. I mean, we just need to block out all the noise and really focus on your job. And I felt like the players really did that, and I also wanted them to be much more selfless, you know what I mean, and just play more united, and I felt like we were that way. We were pulling for each other, and tough game, and I think the team responded offensively when we fell behind. They picked it up and scored, and defense had a couple big stops. I mean, it was hard. We didn't get some at critical moments, I know, but I felt like we grew in that area. And then, we talked about playing smarter as well as the third point of emphasis, and we definitely we're better in that area.
Or did Kenneth re-aggravate his injury? I think he was announced as a starter.
Yeah, he had, no, it wasn't the same injury, it's something else.
Mark, I pretty much know what you're going to say to this, but I'll ask it anyway. You've lost 3 in a row. Where do you go from here?
Go back to work. Yeah, you think you're gonna feel bad for me? I appreciate that. I don't need it. I don't need any motivation to get back to work tomorrow, and neither does our team and our staff. It hurts because we invest a lot, and our players invest a lot, and our fans invest a lot, and so it hurts, and very disappointed, but not discouraged one bit.
Mark, follow up to that. I know you talked so much about finding leaders on this team. Did you see some guys do that? You guys felt behind 10-0?
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole group, was resilient and showed some resolve, and we talked a little bit about that as well. And that's what I want us to look like. And with that, I mean, I'd like us to make enough plays to win and be a little more detailed, and and us as coaches find those few plays that can make a difference in a game like that. But proud of the team.
For a big chunk of the year, Dane and Devin seem like they're not on the same page when you might get recorded.
Yeah.
What exactly happened, like, specifically with their relationship that happened with that?
Well, you can ask Dane that and Devin, and I'm sure they'll give you honest answers. But for me, it's a perfect example of a young man that we talked about earlier. Maybe, he was in a tough spot. He was kind of frustrated, and he went to work. bottom line, he'll tell you, and I've told him, and we've talked about the past couple weeks, he went to work. Instead of putting his head down and pouting and, feeling like somebody's going to feel sorry for him, he went to work. And I appreciate that. I think I said that after the Georgia game, which there wasn't very many positives, but somebody asked me if there was any positives, and I noticed that. I noticed his work from the practice field carrying over to the game field.
Mark, going forward, how much does it, even a loss, get Barry on and Dane going, and, how do you build off that? Just not go on?
Yeah, I think, they, again, those guys are their true sophomores, and, they have high expectations coming into it, and we're in a rough league, and growth, you see maturity, you see them fighting, you see them making plays in games like that, and that's what we need, that's what we need out of both of them.
Mark, what do you say to Alex Rayner? Obviously going into this game, he hadn't missed a non-blocked field goal yet, and it was a tough one from 53 yards out. What do you say to, keep him from getting discouraged?
Yeah, I won't have to say much to him. I have a lot of confidence. We do. That was tough. I mean, I believe it may have even been 1 yard further, but 54. But, he can hit those, but he probably tried to overhit it, and it wasn't a great snap, if I recall. It was a little high, so timing may be a little off, but we'll be okay. He'll be solid.
All right, folks, thank you very much.